Narayan Manurkar from Jain College of Engineering, Belagavi. Today we'll be discussing about module number 5, that is tools and techniques in TQM. First, we'll see what is benchmarking. Benchmarking can be defined as a systematic method of continuous improvement in which companies compare themselves with the best in the industry. Now, there are some benefits of benchmarking. Benchmarking will help the companies to lift their own performance to stay in the competition. Companies can borrow some of the ideas to gain the competitive advantage, so that will be added advantage to the company if it gains some borrow some ideas from other companies. And it is also a simple and most effective cost technique. It also helps in achieving the objectives for a company in very quick time. Now there are different types of benchmarking one can define. First one is called as internal benchmarking, second is called as competitive benchmarking, third one is called as strategic benchmarking. Now we'll see what is internal benchmarking. This type is adopted when the company has established itself and regarded as the best in the industry. But if still they want to improve, they can set a target of themselves to improve continuously. That is called as internal benchmarking. Now, what is competitive benchmarking? Competitive benchmarking used when the company is interested in evaluating its position within its industry. So, within its competitors, if you want to evaluate yourself, then you can use a competitive benchmarking. Third type is called as strategic benchmarking. Now, this type is used when the industry wants to evaluate its position for world-class performance. Hence, companies move out of their industry and do benchmarking. So, for example, a car manufacturing company benchmarking with an electronic industry falls into this category. So, if you want to benchmark from with respect to the world-class companies, then you can go for strategic benchmarking. Now we'll see what is the process of benchmarking a company has to follow. Now there are different steps in one can define in process of benchmarking, and most of the organizations they follow these type of processes. First step is called as decide what to benchmark. Second is understand the current performance. Then plan, study others, learn from the data, and use the findings. Firstly, we need to decide whether what are the critical success factors that will help the company to gain the advantage. A Pareto analysis which you have studied will be very helpful to identify the critical success factors. Now you can also ask some of the questions, or organization can decide what to benchmark. Say for example, which processes are causing the most trouble, and which factors contribute most to the customer satisfaction, then what are the competitive pressures impacting the organization. So these type of questions the company can explain or answer. Now second step is called as understand the current performance. Before we compare with others, we need to understand our process thoroughly. Now some of the points that will complete these steps are: document the current process, attention must be paid both to the inputs and outputs, questioning must be done in a proper way, then quantify the documented process using the matrices, that is unit cost, asset measurements and quality measurements, then account details must be thoroughly studied to understand what is to be included and in the accounting system. Now third step is called as planning, that is you have to plan properly. A proper benchmarking team must be formed, which will help that this team will help to decide on the method of collecting the data. And some government agencies, supplier, customers can provide details about the company. Now this team which is formed must also identify the organizations that are to be benchmarked and the type of benchmarking that will be followed. Instead of studying a single organization, it must be planned to study multiple organizations, which will help the company to discover the best practices. Now the fourth step is called as study the other organizations. While studying the other organization, we need to collect the data from both the internal as well as external sources. Now we can use some of the questionnaires, or you can visit the industry, or you can create a focus group and collect the data. So these are some of the methods of collecting the data. Now the next step is called as learning from the data. Now whatever data is collected in the previous step, the team which will be able to answer the following questions. We have to we have to question ourselves whether is there any gap between the organizational performance and the performance of the best class in the industry. Now what is the gap and how much it is, why there is a gap, and what does it best to classify in the different data, what would be the best resulting improvement if the same is adopted at our site. Now whatever that has been collected, This has to be used, that is called as use the findings. The last step is to use the findings. Benchmarking involves a noticeable amount of time to complete the entire exercise. If the findings are not implemented, then the whole exercise will be just a waste of time. Hence, it is very important to adapt to the changes when a negative gap occurs during the benchmarking process. And then lastly, we will see what are the approaches of benchmarking. Now there are two approaches one can define. These are some of the example. Now we have taken an example of Xerox 10-step process. You can also study the approach of AT&T companies, that is a 12-step process. Now here in Xerox 10-step process, first step is to identify what is to be benchmark. This is very important. First you have to see ourselves where we stand and what you have to benchmark, compare with the best class in the industry. And second is called as identify the comparative organization. Now when we are comparing with other organizations, we have to choose an organization which is best in the class. Now third is determine the data collection methods and collecting data. Now already we have discussed some of the data collecting methods, for example site visits or focus group interviews or questionnaires that can be used to collect the data. Okay, and then next is called as determine the current performance gap. So after collecting the data, we need to assess ourselves and we have to see where we lag, okay, or where there is a gap in our company and the best in the class in the company. Then next is project future performance. Now based on the data and the gap, we have to project what will be the future perspective for the company. Now the next step is called as communicate the findings. So whatever the findings have been listed down, that has to be communicated to the employees, so that employees also understand the process thoroughly. And next is establish the functional goals. Now every organization will be having some goals. Now based on these findings, you have to establish the functional and try to achieve that. That is objective for the company, you can say. Now next is develop the action plans. Now based on the data or the methods that has been followed, you have to develop the action plans to achieve those objectives in a better way. The next step is implement the actions and monitor the progress. Once you implement the action plans, you have to monitor the process and measure our performance level, so that if any there is lacuna in the process, then you can correct it very well. Okay, the last step is recalibrate benchmarks. Then once again we can go back and reassess the situation. Thank you very much.